Hey, what's going on, Wolfpack? I was gonna tell you about this competitive card game called Singularity, which is gonna have a co-op mode, a team play mode, and a solo mode at launch on GameFound, which is live right now. Links below. This is a sponsored video, but something kind of weird is going on with my editing program. Like it's kind of acting on its own, doing its own thing, and injecting a bunch of code, but none of the code is random at all. Just like Singularity, which has no hand of cards, no dice rolling, and no shuffling at all. There's actually over 180 cards included in this game with artwork done by Hector Sevilla Lujan, Josh Bruce, Cameron Brotsman, and Alex Johnstone. But with that said, I did want to tell you a little more about what the Singularity actually is. The only issue is, wait, hold on, stay with me, hold on. Why is this thing editing itself? Welcome to the future where physical reality has faded into myth. Now there are 4 factions to choose from in the game. First off is the Celestial Shogunate. These characters are all about hiding in the shadows until it's the right time to dispatch their opponents. They're all about countering an opponent's early progression. And then we have the Subnet 86. They have characters that are trying to provide consistent RAM efficient damage. RAM is going to be the resource that you'll see shortly. And they're all about performing consistent damage.
I'm playing as the Monarchy of Boom today, which is all about tankiness and armor. You could either use those armor to defend yourself or spend them to cause more damage to your opponent. We also have the Hanamori, which is all about setting up those totems which allow you to manage your resources and mess with your opponent.
The whole point of this game is to be the first one to crash 3 of your opponent's characters, aka kill 3 characters, and then game's over. Today I'm playing as the Celestial Shogunate versus Josh playing as
the Monarchy of Boom.
We're gonna dive straight in and show you turn by turn how this game works. Okay, so first off, what's gonna happen is we're going to initialize. Now in this phase, we're going to gain RAM. RAM is going to be your resource for this game. So in order for you to perform and activate any cards, you have to have RAM. So first I have RAM over here, and then these are going to be refreshed. So now I have a total of 4 RAM to use on my turn. Next up, I'm gonna apply any overload damage. That just means if we have more than 10 RAM, which is like the maximum for this game, if you have more than 10, then you're gonna start taking damage. So ultimately, this game is gonna tick down and you have like a limited number of rounds before everyone starts taking damage and it's gonna cut off the game. Next up, we're gonna have initializing any effects, but we don't have any initializing characters just yet. So we're gonna move on to phase 2, which is activate. Now how activating works is you have programs, which are a stack of 3 cards on the left side. On the right side are all of our characters. So characters on the right, programs on the left. So there are 2 types of program cards. Josh, you wanna take it away?
Yeah, we have 2 different types. One is the command card. You can see here it says command on the bottom left. Now command cards are the cards that activate and resolve immediately. Can target different characters or just have different effects. And the second type is patch cards, which you can also see here. It says patch here on the bottom left. One thing to note about patch cards is they can be patch self, which is only used on the character stack that they belong to, or if it says patch any, you could target any character to attach that patch to.
So with my turn, what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually going to spend 1 RAM in order to activate Irritant Scratch from Shred. Simple move here. All this is gonna do is deal 1 damage. So every time I play a card, it's gonna go straight to the middle in case Josh has any responses for his characters. Do you?
No response this time.
Exactly. So then I'm gonna take this one and it's gonna go right behind the deck. So as soon as you use a card, it gets shuffled behind the first program on the left side. So then the 1 damage is gonna be dealt over here to Scrapper. So now you have, how much health remaining in that one?
Only 3 health left.
Okay, because on the bottom right of the character cards will list the total health for that character, 8 minus 5.
Yes.
3 health left. Can't do math here. Now I have 3 RAM remaining, Josh, and guess what I'm gonna do with those 3 RAM? I'm gonna spend
end your
it all.
turn early.
Psych. Here comes Maul, which costs 3 RAM, and this one is going to deal 3 power, 3 damage directly. And I wonder which character has only 3 health left.
I think you should target the one with 2 armor.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Say goodbye to Scrapper.
So Scrapper crashes, and this character is removed from play along with its program stack.
So when a character crashes another character, aka another character dies, you get to open up a brand new character. Technically, when you open up a new character, they get suspended, which just means that you can't use them. They're inactive. But because it was in response to a crash, you do get to use any abilities that pop up for that specific character. And this character is Blitztron, which Josh, you want to tell me what your ambush effect does?
His ambush effect is suspend target character. So I get to target any character and have them suspended. And I'm going to actually target my own character, Zaximus, because when he's suspended, he gains 2 armor. So he has a total of 4 armor now.
So technically, when characters are suspended, which is like turned sideways, it means you can't use any of their abilities just yet. And you can reset a character, which is one possible action in phase 2, in order for you to turn it back up to the active side. You just have to spend what's on top of their program stack. So in this case, if Josh were to reset, it would cost him 3 RAM. And we also, just so you know, this is a prototype that we're showing you off today. So there are some prototype rules. Of course, all these rules are, subject to change. And last thing to note too is that for filming purposes, we're also making all these cards vertical because in gameplay, they would all be horizontal, just like this. So from here, since I used Maul's going to get cycled back underneath Irritant Scratch. And that's all my RAM spent. I'm gonna switch on over to phase 3, which is update. In this case, all my RAM would be deactivated. I can ready any characters, but these are all ready already. And then I can also resolve any update effects, but there are no updates. So now we're gonna switch on over to Josh's turn.
So I'm going to initialize, which means I'm going to gather 1 RAM and refresh my pool. So I have 4 total RAM to use. No overload damage, no initialize effects. And now we're going to go to the activate. Now, because Zaximus is suspended, I can't activate any of his programs. So I'm going to go ahead and use Rocket Crush instead. So I'm going to spend 3 of my RAM.
Well, that's a buttload of RAM here. You want to relax on that?
Absolutely not. I got to get revenge for Scrapper.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the Rocket Crush, deal 2 damage or 2 power, and then this character may lose 1 armor and give that an extra 2 power, equaling 4. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, remove this armor token.
So that's 4 damage total.
4 damage total, and I am going to go ahead and target Shred, actually.
Okay, interesting.
Takes 4 damage. The Rocket Crush gets cycled to the bottom of Tonkor's deck. So I'm actually going to spend my battery here, which I got at the beginning of the game for going second. The battery, when used, gives you 1 virtual RAM token here. Now the virtual RAM token, unlike the max RAM, expires or goes away at the end of your turn. So you have to make the most of it when you use it because it won't be replenished. So I'm actually going to use my 1 virtual RAM that I just gained along with my 1 max RAM token for 2, and I'm going to use Pass the Plate Mate, which is a command. Add 2 armor to target character, and I'm going to target Tonkor for 2 armor, and then this gets cycled to the bottom of the deck.
It seems your deck is all about adding armor and redistributing them, Josh.
Well, after what happened to Scrapper, I got to load up on those armors.
Okay. What you got next?
And then update. In the update phase is when I could finally ready Zaximus again. So now next turn, he is ready to activate his programs. And now I'll hand it back to Tin.
Okay, so for me, I am gonna gain some RAM first. And now we're at our halfway point. Usually at the halfway point for Singularity, things are gonna friggin' pop the flip off. So I am going to spend 2 RAM to activate a card, a program, a patch specifically, called Shadow Strike. Now what Shadow Strike does is it's going to attach to a character. It's gonna patch to Shiho Zenji herself. And this one is gonna give +2 damage to a command. So we'll go ahead and stack up this one. And it also, currently right now, Zenji also has Scarification. So if any damage were to be received by Zenji, she would heal by 3. So offensive, defensive, that's my plan right there. Now, I spent 2 RAM, I got 3 RAM left. And oh, look at here. Hungry Kunai just popped up. I'm gonna spend 1, 2, 3 RAM. And this one says to deal 2 damage. And if the target has 4 or less health, I would get an extra 2 damage bonus. But you got all fresh characters here with armored up. So right now I'm gonna have 2 plus my Shadow Strike 2. So that's gonna be 4 damage total. The question is, who to target first? That's the hard part. It's like, do I go for the armor or do I go for the ones that are annoying?
Just go for the armor. Just because it's going to be a problem later. Just get out of the way.
You're right. But I also feel like there's some kind of reverse psychology going on here.
I
just
would
can't
never.
get myself to believe it.
Just an honest player looking to have fun. Who
Who
likes
can have
winning?
fun?
Who likes winning? I like having fun.
Okay, I will attack Blitztron.
Damn, okay.
So that's going to be half damage right there.
Yep. So he gets
1, 2,
3
3,
and
4.
1 more for a total of 4 damage.
Get it. And then Hungry Kunai is going to go back down. And that's going to be my activation phase. I'm actually going to swap out another character real quick.
Ooh.
We're going to retire temporarily Shred. And I am going to open up this one, Satellite 137, for the first time in this game. And when it's the first time you open up a character like this, they're going to activate their ambush ability. This one says, the target squad, which is your entire team, take 1 damage.
So Tonko removes 1 armor, so does Zaximus, and ooh, Blitztron, not looking too good. Get the total 2 for a total 5 damage.
Yep. But in return, Satellite 137 also takes 2 damage itself.
This guy has 12 health though. Dude's an absolute unit.
There we go. And that's going to be my swap. And then he's going to switch on over to a suspended phase. And then we're going to go to update. We're going to ready character. So now it goes back up there. And that's it.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and gather and refresh my RAM. So refresh and gather. So total 5. Spend 2 of my RAM to do break beats, which is a command that deals 1 damage and then deal 1 to a different character. But because it's from Tonkor, I'm going to go ahead and use 1 armor and increase that damage by 1 for each effect.
Is that his effect?
Yes, okay, that's his character effect. So now I get to deal 2 damage to 1 character, which I'm going to choose Zenji.
Okay, so Zenji's going to take 2 damage.
2 damage.
Ouch, that's more than half my health right now. Okay, what's next?
And then Miko's also going to take 2 damage.
Frick! Miko hasn't even done anything to you yet, man.
What are you talking about? This is for Scrapper.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 6 damage total.
Okay, see, I'm setting up the dominoes and they're just all going to fall one after the other.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
All right, so that gets cycled. And then I'm also going to spend my remaining 3 RAM for Benabassa's block. Now this patch for Zaximus, target active command gets -4 power or -4 AI damage. So that's a big bonus.
So if I were to attack you, it just drops by 4.
Yep.
So if I were to do like 4 damage, it would just even out.
But no, only for power and AI damage. Okay, I'm out of RAM. I am going to the update phase because I am out of RAM. No characters need to be ready, so I will hand it back to the Shogunate.
Oh, right before you finish too, Josh. When this character takes damage for Scarification, I also get a heal by 3. So
What?
1, 2, and 3. See, the thing is, I knew you were gonna target her. That's why.
I basically just healed 10 by 1 then.
And then this one is gonna go back to its original pile for Shred. And now we start, my turn?
Yes.
All right. So in summary, how you're seeing kind of the game flow so far is that we gain resources in the beginning. So the RAM is always going to stack up, aka we get more and more actions as the game progresses. And then we go into the activation phase where then things just go off. We activate character abilities, we activate different programs, and then we start attacking each other phase to phase. Because ultimately the goal is to crash 3 characters. Like I said, we have 1 character remaining to crash here. Josh has to crash 3 more over here in order to catch up. I totally didn't even need to mention that for the preview, but I just wanted to.
Hold on. The game's not over yet, Tim. There's still plenty of time for characters to crash.
And then the last phase, update, this is like the upkeep. So then this is when you start readying your characters and then deactivating your RAM. That way you're ready for the next turn. The last thing I wanted to mention is EXE effects. Some patches will have EXE effects where only the controller of the card can trigger that effect, like for Back's Battery Backpack, which would give you 2 virtual RAM to use, but it would make you suspend that character that this card is attached to. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this preview for Singularity. Josh, thanks for joining me yet again.
Always good to be here.
Another preview.
And if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, comment crash down below.
We'll see you all on the next one. Thank you.